Okay. There's nobody yet.
Okay. Oh, how do we record?
I save it. One person, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, Jefferson families. This is your principal, Lisa Richardson, and I'd like to welcome you to our live orientation for all of our new families here at Jefferson. We are excited to start the 2020-2021 school year. We recognize that there are a lot of challenges, there are a lot of things going on in the world, but we want families to know that we are committed to educating your students to high standards. And here at Jefferson, we are a family, and we will continue to help and support each other. I'd like to share our mission statement with you. Jefferson Intermediate Traditional School will empower individuals to be lifelong learners, reaching high academic and social expectations through collaboration of parents, students, school, and community. We have a lot of information that we will be sharing with you today. If at any time you have additional questions after we're done with our presentation, please do not hesitate to add them into the comments of Facebook, and we will be able to answer all of your questions. The learning expectations here at Jefferson. We will be covering a lot of rigorous material throughout this school year, but we wanted to share what makes a successful Bulldog. High academic and behavioral expectations is what we expect from each and every student that is a Jefferson student. We are committed to giving student-centered classrooms to focus on the needs of students so that they are able to learn and grow academically, socially, and emotionally. And we are looking for increased parent involvement. We need families to come alongside us to support the work that we're doing and to help us help your children to be successful. Now, I would like to introduce to you our assistant principal, Jeff Hammerline.
Hi everybody. Again, I am Jeff Hammerline, the assistant principal here at Jefferson. First up, I'm going to share with you some information about our school reopening plan. Students will be reporting Wednesday the 12th to their e-learning, their virtual classes. So what we have set up here at Jefferson is in the morning, they will be going through rotations. Rotations will be 1 hour. They'll report to their advisory class, so they'll check in with their advisory teacher first thing in the morning at 9 o'clock. From that point, they will participate in circles, restorative justice circles. They will work on some community building, getting to know their teachers. From that point, what we're being asked to do is focus on social emotional learning and tech. So for the first 8 days, so this week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then next week, Monday through Friday, they will be using the schedule in the morning. So they will go, first period will be an hour, second period will be an hour, third period will be an hour, and in the afternoon, the teachers will be participating in professional learning. They will go through rotations. Their teachers will rotate. So we'll use 8th grade for example, excuse me, this is incoming, so we'll use 6th grade as an example. So 6th grade, all 6th grade students will rotate and see all their teachers through either advisory, social emotional learning, or a lesson on tech. That could be anything from learning how to use Google Classroom, which is our learning management system being used in the district. It could be how to use Canvas. Some teachers might be utilizing Canvas. It could be how to write appropriate emails to get help from their teachers or other staff members. So they will check in with advisory, and what we're having our teachers do is rotate into those advisories. So every day the student will check into advisory. We want to avoid any confusion that they may potentially have. So advisory class, they will check in, and there could be a different teacher from day to day doing the lesson. Lessons will be available. If they're not available for some reason to check in right away in the morning, lessons will be available for them to participate in throughout the day, depending on what's going on. Moving on into attendance. Attendance is going to be based off learning tasks. A learning task is attending a virtual meeting, participating in class discussion. Teachers might have a check-in form, email correspondence with the teacher, completion of daily work, completion of parts of a long-term project, depending on what's going on. Teachers will be posting their attendance every day. However, students will have until 11:59 on Sunday to post that work item. If your student was marked absent, but they turned something in, let's say on Saturday morning, the teacher will be responsible for going back in and rectifying that attendance, and your student will be marked present. Present is equal to the completion of a learning task prior to Sunday at 11:59. Absent is equal to the lack of completion of a learning task prior to that 11:59 mark. So on Monday, the teachers will go in and they'll rectify all the attendance. Through that attendance model, we also have staff members who will be in the building, and teachers, myself and other office staff as well, who will be reaching out to all of you to see if you have any issues logging in with technology, with Chromebooks, if you are confused by what's going on and your child just isn't certain exactly where they should be logging in or what class to go to or times. As this moves forward, as the teachers come back, they're coming back tomorrow, as they put together their plans and they put forth what they're going to be doing in their classes, we will help students and help all of you form these routines and get these schedules down for what is going to be happening. But just know the important thing that I want to get out to you, and we all want to get out to you, is the reopening plan is going to function, or the first portion of it will be the first 2 weeks. It will be the first 8 days beginning this Wednesday. They will go through 3 class periods for an hour each. Those lessons will be available at a later time if they're not able to log in right away. But we do expect them to log in daily and communicate with staff and teachers on a daily basis. We don't want them. We don't want students to get behind. We would like them to stay on top of things and to communicate with teachers, and for our teachers to communicate with them to make sure everybody is functioning and everything is flowing regularly. And we're not waiting till the end of the week to get things in, because when we let work pile up in front of us, the likelihood of a student being successful and get everything done is more and more slim. We will get more information out to you as things change. As we move from these 8 days, we will have more information available for you when we transition on the 24th into a full day schedule, which is an 8-period day. Then they will check in the morning, and then they can go through their classes, and their teachers will give them information about virtual meetings, about lessons, and about how their class is going to operate. So next up, we have Ms. Fuller, our guidance counselor, who is going to give you some information about scheduling.
Good morning. I want to talk first about schedules. First, I want to speak to incoming 6th graders. Your schedules, I would say, are 95% complete. We're still doing a few changes, a little bit of movement. The only thing that would change within your schedule within the next day would be the order of your classes, but the classes would remain the same. I want to talk a little bit about block scheduling, which is what we've moved to this year. If you've seen your schedule, you'll notice that you have the same teacher for both language arts classes, and then you have the same teacher for both math classes, and those classes are back to back. The purpose of that is so that you have more time with those teachers. You'll stay with that teacher back to back, especially when we come back to in-person learning. So that's not a mistake on your schedule. That is correct, because we have moved to block scheduling. For incoming 6th graders, really your only choice for courses is your fine arts elective. a lot of you filled out a Fine Arts Elective course request form back in February, March, before schools closed. So you were placed in that class. If you did not fill out one of those forms, you were placed in an art music split, so a semester of each. If you would like to make a change and move to band or orchestra, which are full year fine arts classes, I would just need to get an email from a parent guardian letting me know the change that you want to make to that schedule, and then we can get that changed. For new and incoming 7th and 8th graders, the same thing for your schedule. There might be some movement, but your classes will stay the same. You also have block scheduling with math and language arts. Incoming 7th and 8th graders have a few more options for elective classes. If you go to our website, jefferson.sb.school, and under the Families tab, you can click on your grade level, and that will have a course description sheet that shows the elective classes. If you already filled that out and selected those courses, that is what you were placed in. There may have been a few changes due to class size capacity. And the same thing, any request for a schedule change for any student, that request needs to come to me from the parent or guardian, preferably via email. And we will do our best to accommodate those schedule change requests, but we do have some limitations due to class sizes and capacity. So when movement is possible, we will make that, but sometimes it's difficult. If you have any questions about schedules, please reach out to me via email or via phone during the school day. You can call the main office, 393-4100. The other thing I wanted to speak on is clubs and activities. So if you're new to Jefferson, I'm going to speak on what clubs and activities have looked like, and that's what our bell sounds like. They're still going on. I'm going to speak on what clubs and activities have looked like in the past, with the idea that we, moving forward, will modify those as if we stay on e-learning or as we come back in person, what that will possibly look like. But we try to offer a variety of different clubs and activities outside of athletics. Our athletic coordinator will be speaking in a little bit about athletics. I'm going to talk about non-athletic activities. Some of the things that we have had in the past are Drama Club in coordination with the Robinson Community Center, Starbase in cooperation with the Department of Defense. That is a STEM program that incorporates hands-on learning and team building activities. We have different pop-up clubs throughout the year. Those are just activities that some of our staff and teachers want to participate in with our students, or teach them a new skill or a new activity that's not a long-term club but a short-term pop-up club. Some of those that we've had in the past are like cooking and baking, anime. We had an engineering club with students from Notre Dame. A couple of our teachers last year had almost a year-long yarn club where they taught them how to knit and crochet. We had plans for a photography pop-up club, but then when schools closed, that kind of went on pause. But so those are some of the different kinds of clubs that we like to offer here. In regards to some of our pillar activities here at Jefferson, I want to talk on the three main ones: Culture Fair, Science Fair, and Arts on Eddy. So Culture Fair is our fall event. This is driven by our social studies classes, where each class will study a different country and then do a presentation on maybe that country's economy, the food, the social construct, things like that. And we put all of those presentations together in our auditorium, and sometimes they overflow into the hallway. And then we have a night where parents and the community can come and see those presentations on different cultures. Second, our winter event is Science Fair. That's pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I need to go into any detail about that one. But all students do participate in the Science Fair. And then our spring event is called Arts on Eddy, and this is oftentimes paired with our fine arts concerts. But this is actually one of my favorite events. The entire school, well, mainly the first floor, on display are different art pieces from every student in the building. So even if you don't have art class, you will have something on display in the building that you've done in a classroom, science, maybe math, maybe language arts. And those are all on display throughout the building, and it's open to the public to come in and take a look, and then also attend the fine arts concerts that are also happening that same evening. So that is just kind of a brief overview of clubs and activities. And then next, I'm going to turn it over to our athletic coordinator, Miss Dooley, so she can talk about athletics.
Good morning. My name is Jess Dooley. I am the athletic coordinator here at Jefferson. I am also the PE teacher here at Jefferson, so sixth graders, I will see you hopefully soon. Just to talk a little bit about athletics, we do offer a lot of sports here at Jefferson. In the fall, we offer football, girls and boys soccer, volleyball, and cross country for girls and boys. Winter sports are girls and boys basketball as well as wrestling, and we love when girls will join the wrestling team as well. Spring, we have baseball, softball, and girls and boys track. It's going to look a little bit different for this fall due to the COVID-19 procedures, but we were given the okay a week ago today to move forward with middle school sports, so we're excited about that. They are beginning today. If you have not heard anything about them, if you have not seen anything on any websites or anything about middle school sports here at Jefferson, I would ask that you please follow Jefferson Bulldog Athletics on Facebook. If you do not have a Facebook, just to create a profile to follow that page only would be fantastic, because I give live updates as they come into my computer. There are 3 things that you need to do in order to participate in sports here at Jefferson. The first one is register on eventlink.com. That's our new platform for sports registration. And you will need to fill out the forms there completely and correctly to make sure that everything is done for when you come to the first practice of whatever season you are registering for. You will also need to have an IHSAA sports physical on file that is up to date. Again, this year is a little bit different for 7th and 8th graders, but 6th graders will need to have a new one. You can find that form at ihsaa.org. They're called just an annual sports physical. If you print that out, your doctor or family practitioner can fill that out for you, and you can bring that to your first practice. The last thing is a $20 insurance athletic fee, and that is required for any athlete that participates at Jefferson. They will need to pay that, and you can do that online on EventLink with a credit or debit card, or you can pay your first day of practice in cash if that's easier for you. Hopefully this year we will have athletics this fall starting again. Today we have football starting. If you are a little bit late coming in this week, that's fine, because you're just now finding out about it. We are beginning volleyball tomorrow at 4:30 to 6 p.m. I'm sorry, football was 5 to 7 p.m. this evening here at Jefferson. Volleyball is beginning tomorrow from 4:30 to 6 p.m. in the Jefferson gym. And cross country is beginning Wednesday from 4:30 to 6 p.m. at Jefferson. Girls and boys soccer has begun a little bit late this year, and it's going to start the week of Monday the 17th. So that is a week from today. Those schedules will be posted on our Facebook page as well. If you have any questions about athletics or you need any information, please feel free to email me. My email is jdooley@sb.school. Okay? Thank you very much for your time. And now I'm going to bring back Mr. Hemmerline, our fantastic assistant principal, to talk about PBIS.
Hi again, everybody. I'm going to talk to you guys a little about PBIS, which stands for Positive Behavior Interventions and Supports. What PBIS intends to do and how we use it here at Jefferson is to improve the climate and culture in this building. Schools, typically when we think about discipline, we think about when students do something wrong, we want to punish. What PBIS attempts to do is, instead of always looking at the punishment model of things, we try to observe and praise students, and it also utilizes the teaching. So when students come to us, obviously this year is a little different, but when students come to us in the building, we want to teach them the explicit behaviors, how to behave in a school, how to behave in the hallways. What do we expect from you walking to and from the cafeteria or in the cafeteria during lunch? So instead of punishing the student, we want to teach them. And with that, and with dwelling on the positive portions of things, it is allowing us to Lead behaviors that deal with social, emotional, and academic successes. If we're always punishing students and dwelling on the negative, students are going to get down on themselves. Parents are going to get angry. Sometimes parents get dejected of what their kid is like in the school building. So we want to take a look at the positives. We utilize what's called the BARK matrix. And we're constantly telling kids, practice your BARK behaviors. So the B in BARK, B-A-R-K, the B is be prepared. We expect students to be prepared, and virtually we can do these things as well. So be prepared. So, show up to class, participate in discussions. If you don't understand something or have questions, reach out to the appropriate people. Don't expect necessarily, especially in a virtual world, for teachers to be able to walk over and I'll use something tangible and give you the pencil because you weren't prepared. Make sure your Chromebook is charged and ready to go. Make sure you're treating those things appropriately. The A in BARK is be accountable. If you did not get something done, more than likely your teachers and myself and other staff in the building, we ask that you put this foot forward and be accountable and say, hey, you know what, I messed up. How can I get out of this hole and move forward? And 99% of the time, you're going to have somebody help you out and say, hey, we can work through this, that's fine. It's the accountability portion of things. Be respectful. This one typically goes without saying. At home, you could exhibit this. Be respectful. Students are to be respectful to their families. Be respectful to the Chromebook. Be respectful in online discussions and chats and small group work with your teachers. And knowledgeable is the K in the BARK matrix and the model. Know these things. Be knowledgeable about processes and procedures and things that are being, I shouldn't say things, information that is being given to you. There's going to be a lot coming out with the way we're starting the year, and we will get you the information as quickly and often as possible. But it's that student's responsibility to be knowledgeable about these things, understand these things. And again, there are going to be bumps in the road. Reach out, send an email to somebody and said, hey, I'm trying to be knowledgeable. Can you help me out and give me this information again, even though maybe it came out or whatever have you. Ask the questions to put that foot forward. So something new that we're going to be utilizing this year, and we will start this virtually, as well as it's called a system PBIS Rewards. And what this is really a software system and a tracking system. So earlier when I said we are looking to observe and praise behaviors, teachers are going to be able to award points. And if a student, I'll use an easier example, if a student is walking through the halls, they drop all their supplies on the floor and two students come over and they help pick them up. Those are the behaviors we want to see from Jefferson students. So those two students are being respectful of the other students here in this building. They're making the culture here one of caring and kindness, and they help somebody pick their stuff up. Their teacher could walk over and award them points in the PBIS reward system. You as a parent are able to download the app and keep track of these behavior points. Myself as an administrator and Ms. Richardson, we're able to download reports so we get an accurate picture of what are the behaviors looking like in Jefferson, what areas potentially need more work, what areas are we excelling at, and we're able to pinpoint some of these things through the data reports that we're able to download. So what will happen is staff members will award points to students for following the BARK matrix, following these procedures. These points then can be used by the students to buy incentives. There will be an online store for the students to go in. They will have access to looking at who awarded points, how many points do they have, the PBIS online reward store. They'll be able to go into that, think of something like Amazon. There'll be, and the incentives will change often. So some certain things won't always be there. But they'll be able to go in and let's say they have a point balance of 572. So they can go in and look at the different incentive items that are in there and purchase those items. Some items will be tangible, possibly pencils or erasers or a bag of chips. Other things might be reward based. Maybe it's to, when they're back in school, to eat lunch with a staff member or do something in line with that. So again, the PBIS model is to improve the climate and culture. We want to observe and praise. We're utilizing the PBIS reward system in order to show the students that we're praising them, that this is the right behavior, and it's moving away from that punishment model. We will have login information for students and parents, and we will get specific directions out to you soon once we get this. Again, this is new this year, so once we get this model running, once we get all the teachers onboarded into it, we will get that information out to you how to log in. One of the next things, moving on from PBIS, this won't take effect obviously till we come back in person, but we've been getting a lot of phone calls and emails about this, and a lot of you as parents want to get ahead of this by looking at uniforms, especially when a lot of the sales are now. I'm going to give you a couple of the more important things in regards to the uniforms. We have updated our uniform policy this year. There are some changes, so if a student had an older brother or sister or cousins or friends who came here, there's going to be some changes to that maybe they've heard, and nothing too drastic. So I will give you the overview. We will post our full uniform policy. We will get that out to you so you can take a look at all the finer points of it, but I want to hit the main point. So tops. All students need to wear a polo style shirt. They can wear sweaters, they can wear vests. Navy blue, light blue, royal blue, white, black, or gray are the colors that are acceptable. Bottoms can be pants, skirts, dresses, or shorts. Shorts can only be worn in the first or fourth quarter. So really the first, they won't be able to wear shorts until the spring if we don't come back until after the first quarter is done. Skirts, dresses, shorts need to be knee length, and those can be navy, khaki or tan, or black. There's to be no denim leggings. I didn't put the exclusionary items or the restrictions in here. I just wanted to get out the information to you. So if you're wanting to purchase uniforms or you just want to know what's acceptable, then information might be a little more important than the things that are not acceptable right now. Footwear, the heels and toes must be covered. The shoe needs to have a sole. No flip-flops or slides or the athletic sandals or sandals of those types can be worn. Boots can be worn. That's one of the changes coming into this year. But the style must allow pants to be worn over the boot. They can't be an outlandish style. They can't go all the way up to the knee or any of the fashion boots. And another change this year, spirit wear can be worn every day. This includes Jefferson hoodies. So if through our spirit wear sale, which we will be having later, we're going to post that in a couple weeks closer to us coming back to school, hopefully. But we will get that up for all of you, and you can look at spirit wear items. If our athletic teams are selling things and they're selling hoodies, students can wear those in the building. They cannot wear their hood. So the hoodie is acceptable. Wearing of the hood will never be acceptable. But they can wear spirit wear every day. A collar is not needing to be worn underneath. So if they're wearing a short sleeve t-shirt, in the past they had to wear a collared shirt underneath it. That had to change for this year, so that's not going to need to be worn. But if you are needing spirit wear, which is going to be most of you since this is 6th grade and incoming, new incoming students, we will get a spirit wear store online available to you shortly. We will get that information and link and everything out to you. The final thing I have for you is we are still planning on running our picture day. Obviously it's going to look a little different. This will be on August 27th and 28th. There will be a Google form shared with all of you on Friday. And what we ask for you to do is fill out that Google form with a time slot that is convenient for you. You'll come to the school, you'll wait in your car. We have about 15-minute increments. We're going to ask you to wait in your car, and then you'll be notified when you can come into the building. You'll walk right into the gym, get your picture taken, and you can leave right away. So you don't need to go throughout the building. This will avoid the need to be around large groups. And hopefully we can get everybody and still get your school pictures taken. Again, that form will be shared with you on Friday. Sign up for a time slot, what works for you. We have 2 days with different hours that will be offered, and all that information will be shared on Friday as well. If you have any questions about any of these things, about uniforms, about pictures, about what I spoke about previously, which is the school reopening plan, which I get is causing some stress and anxiety to our students, what's going on, because they're not just going to report here. please reach out to me. Call me here at school. The number is 393-4100. Shoot me an email. I would be more than happy to talk with you, chat with you, answer any questions that you might have, as I'm sure you do. And then, what are we moving into? We're moving into our restorative justice process, and Ms. Richardson will talk to you about that.
Hello, families. I want to end with a very important piece of what we do here at Jefferson, and that is restorative justice in education. Here at Jefferson, restorative justice in education is a commitment to creating just and fair working environment for both students and staff. Justice honors the inherent worth of all and is enacted through relationships. We will be using restorative practices here to help our kids transition back into school. We will be using restorative justice here to bring more equity into classrooms and also to increase student voices. It is a very important cornerstone of what we do here at Jefferson. And we are excited to welcome not only our students, but our families into learning and utilizing this process so that we can grow together and really strengthen who we are as a school community. I also wanted to touch on textbooks. We will be having a textbook distribution time that will be sent out to parents for pickup. So please make sure that if we do not have your current contact information, your phone number, your email address, that you call the office. The number is area code 574-393-4100, and you make sure that we please have that updated information so that you can get pertinent information in a timely manner. We want to thank you for all of your questions, your comments, your concerns. We want to thank you for logging in. We want to thank you for trusting us with your children. We are happy to be able to serve you here at Jefferson. Thank you and have a great day.